Want to have a brief overview of academic writing task 1? Stay with us. In this video, I'm going to explain every little thing about task 1 of IELTS academic writing module. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share, and subscribe IELTS Material YouTube channel. Hello everyone, this is Yesha, your IELTS expert from IELTSmaterial.com, helping you to prepare for IELTS test, write correct answers, and get higher band score in your IELTS examination. Now let's discuss the core of IELTS academic writing task 1. First of all, it is important to understand what is academic writing task 1. The academic writing task 1 is actually about writing a summary in 150 words. The time limit is 20 minutes for each question. There is only one question to be described, and it is to write about a graph or a chart or a diagram. In the upcoming video, we would be understanding what are the different types of graphs or charts or diagrams and how are we going to describe them according to the IELTS structure. But before that, it is important to know how the writing module is assessed or evaluated. The writing module, task 1 and task 2 are actually evaluated under these marking parameters. The first one is task achievement. Let's consider the task 1. For example, the task 1 is about to write a bar graph, and if we mention that it is a pie chart, then that shows we have not understood the question properly. If we write our answer in accordance to the question, then that is called as task achievement. The task response that we give exactly the way it is asked. Coherence and cohesion. This is to show the link between the ideas, how you will organize your ideas or how you would structure your ideas. And this particular thing depends on coherence and cohesion, where you use different cohesive devices, that is the linkers and the connectors, to show the connection between your ideas, or the organization of the ideas depends on these devices. The next one is grammatical range and accuracy. The meaning of grammatical range is to show your linguistic skills in terms of presenting simple sentences, complex sentences, passive sentences, and compound sentences. And accuracy means that you're not making any grammatical error. You are writing a sentence accurately, that is flawlessly. There are no errors in your sentence. The next one is vocabulary range and accuracy. Vocabulary range does not tell you to write high range of vocabulary, but it actually advises you to write or use different words of similar meanings. That is, you can use synonyms, you can use antonyms, or you can use words with similar meanings. Accuracy means using topic-specific vocabulary. You're not using any word anywhere, you're not using irrelevant words, and that actually shows your accuracy in terms of using lexical resource. All these marking parameters are equally contributed in giving your evaluation of the writing module. Now let's discuss the different types of academic writing task 1 questions. There are 7 types of diagrams, or I would say 7 types of pictorial representation. 2 types of graphs, 2 types of chart, 1 map and a diagram, and the final one is multiple graph. There are 2 types of graphs, and these are bar graph and line graph. 2 types of charts. One is pie chart and the next one is table chart. We have 2 different types of diagrams, one which is called as process diagram and the other one which is called as map. The last one is multiple graph, which stands different, but this multiple graph is actually a combination of any 2 types of graphs only from the first four. The multiple graph will never have a process diagram or a map. It will always contain a bar graph or a pie chart, a line graph or a pie chart, or a table chart and a bar graph. So the combination is only made with the types of graphs and charts. Before moving on to each and every type of the graph, it is very important to learn the structure. The academic writing task 1, the structure is called as four-part structure, which contains four objectives that forms the complete essay. Now, this four-part structure consists of the introduction, the part that introduces the graph or the diagram, and it identifies which type of graph is explained or which type of diagram is depicted. The next one is the overview statement. Writing an overview means describing the eye-catching factor or describing the complete important factor or the main key feature in the overview, telling you a brief description about the graph. Next is the third paragraph is actually called as body paragraph 1, and the last paragraph is called as body paragraph 2. Now, body paragraph 1 contains the main statistics or features. Last paragraph contains the other details, which is the other differences or the similarities. But initially, the main key features or the main statistical figures are explained. So this is the structure which a candidate has to keep in mind before planning or before understanding the different types of graphs, charts, or diagrams. The one important thing that every candidate should keep in mind is in writing task 1, that is academic writing task 1, no conclusion is required. So please do not mention any conclusion in your writing task 1 related to academic writing. If you still do not know how to write a crisp conclusion in IELTS writing task 2 essays, then check out our video, Write a Crisp Conclusion, in I button or video description. Now let's start with each and every example of a graph or a chart or diagram, wherein we are starting with the first type of graph, that is bar graph. The question clearly states the graph. This is a bar graph. So when you write the answer, you have to mention the bar graph describes. In this manner, you would start paraphrasing the question, and that will be your introduction. So a bar graph generally looks like this. This can be a horizontal bar graph or it can be a vertical bar graph, but it has different bars and hence it is called as bar graph. It has categorization as well, 2 categories, 3 categories, 4 categories, or n number of categories, and you have to mention the important categories and its numbers in the following paragraphs, that is the third paragraph and the fourth paragraph. The main features will also contain numbers describing the percentage, the proportion, the ratio, or describing the numbers in millions, currencies, dollars. Especially, you need to make sure that you describe the body paragraphs with numbers. You avoid numbers in the overall statement. You only will be mentioning the main key feature, that this particular category is considered to be the highest, or this particular category has shown the fluctuation to reach the highest point, and that's it. You will not be describing the number, the lowest part, and when it reached the highest part, no number or no year or no numerical phrases would be explained in the overall statement. So here you can see that there are 2 different categories describing about men and women, taking into consideration their age factors. So this particular age factor is determined for both men and women. This is called as x-axis, and the standing line is called as y-axis. So one thing that you can keep in mind is when you are writing the introduction, you can actually use the y-axis and the x-axis terms to make your introductory sentence. This is called as bar graph. The second one is line graph. Line graph actually clearly differentiates itself by showing different types of lines. These can be dotted lines, these can be straight lines, or these can be designed lines. So it actually depicts its pictorial representation with the help of lines. Here also you can see that it is just mentioned the graph, but you need to describe it as a line graph when you are taking in the introduction. Paraphrase the complete sentence and present it in the introduction, and this is the exact method to write the introduction or the method to introduce your first paragraph. Here you can see that there are 4 categories, 4 different countries explained about the year from 1967 to 2007. And this is presented in the x-axis. And you can see that the measurement is in metric tons. This is CO2 emissions in metric tons. So you can take this particular part as well as the x-axis to make your introductory paragraph. One more thing I would like to tell you is you can also use the heading as to make your sentence, that is the introductory sentence. So this is an easy way to immediately construct your introductory paragraph. You just have to paraphrase the question, or you can use the heading, the x-axis part and the y-axis part to perfectly form a sentence of your introduction. The next one is pie chart. In the pie chart, you can see that there are 2 different circles having many different categories. These categories are generally described with different colors. It would become easy for you to differentiate each and every category and present it in your body paragraphs. You can make the comparisons. It is always better to make comparisons or to show the contradictory factors in the graph or in the chart, because it allows you to show the difference between the categories, whether it is talking about the year 2000 or it is talking about the year 2010. So in this manner, you will be able to present as many sentences as you can with different sentence structures, and this covers the grammatical range. So here, this completely shows, and when it comes to pie chart, it is saying, the question says the charts, and you will be writing in the answer saying that it is a pie chart giving the correct task response. Paraphrase the question and present it in the introduction, and then describe the overview statement. After that, take up 2 paragraphs to describe the complete chart. Next is table chart. This will talk about more of numbers. Here and there, numbers. So you have to make sure that you're very attentive in taking up the lowest one, the highest one, the similar ones, the most different ones, and which is showing a greater proportion or a lesser proportion, which is increasing to a greater extent, which has decreased to a lesser extent. All these categories should be explained when you are trying to explain about the table chart. In the table chart, as I said, it will majorly contain the numbers. It will have year, which shows the difference, and it will have different categories through which you will be able to form different sentences. Here also, if you see, it may present it as table, or in the question, you will have describing it as chart. So you need to describe that it is a table chart, again, giving the exact way of representing your introduction. The next one is map. Generally, map has 3 different types of questions. Number 1, the first map and the final map, which has the complete floor plan, which is actually describing you about different departments. It does not have any comparison. There is no differentiation between 2 maps. So it has only 1 map, and you will be describing the different departments of that map. The second category is it may have 2 maps, 1 map describing about the past and 1 map describing about the present condition. The third category will also have 2 maps, but the first map will contain the present situation and the next map will contain the estimated construction or the estimated development in the future. In short, The first category has only one map of the present or the past condition. The second category will have two maps, past and the present condition. The third category will have two maps, present and the future condition. So you have to make sure that you use perfect tenses, that is the proper tenses in describing the maps. This particular diagram shows two different maps. You can see what are the main features explained. The first map is talking about the year 2004 and the second map is talking about the year 2024. So this will contain the future tense and this will contain the past tense. This is also talking about the number of students, that is only 600 students, and the number of students may increase to 1000 students. So the main idea would be to present your answer with proper tenses and you have to compare. You need to make comparisons between the two different maps. You can see here it is given diagrams, but you need to explain the two maps or the two plans. You can also say this. The two maps or the two plans describe the site of the school in 2004 as well as the estimated changes in the school site in 2024. In this manner, you will change your introduction and present it in the first paragraph. So this is called as maps. The next question is process diagram. There are two types of processes. Number one, linear process. The meaning of linear process is it starts from the first stage, it ends with the final stage, but it does not come to the first stage immediately. It has a starting point and it has an ending point. This is called as linear process, and this particular process or this particular method is used when actually there is a need of that particular process. The other category is called as cyclical process. The cyclical process means the cycle which goes on. Let's take an example, recycle. You collect the dust particles, you collect the waste products. It is taken up in the recycling process and a better product is produced. After that, the procedure still continues. The collection of waste product is again taken up and the process is continued with the same manner. So this is called as a cyclical process diagram. So there are two types of process diagram. One is linear and the other one is cyclical. You need to understand which particular process diagram you are going to explain when you have this type of question. This will also contain the introductory paragraph, and in the overview statement, you will make sure that you describe the number of stages, from which part it is going to start and which part it is going to end, and all those procedures with one main key feature. Overview statement is the second paragraph, and the third and the fourth paragraph will contain the different stages in detail. So this is also, you can see that this particular question also contains diagram. So you can present it in a way that it is a cyclical process diagram or it is a linear process diagram. You can start your sentence in this manner as well. Describe the complete process in the introduction and then take up the overview and finally describe the process in detail. Now, the last part that we are going to discuss is multiple graphs. This is talking about two different graphs. You can see the example clearly states that the pie chart and the table chart. So it has two different types of charts. So in the third paragraph, that is initially you will explain about the pie chart and then you will explain about the table chart. Also see there is any connection between the two charts. Sometimes it happens that there are two different graphs given with two different categories and you just have to make sure that you describe about the first graph in the third paragraph and the second graph in the last paragraph. But here you also have to make sure that you understand, is there any connection between the two graphs? If yes, then please show that connection by cohesive devices which connects the third and fourth paragraph with each other. And in this manner, your answer will be assessed. If there is a connection, show the connection. And if there is no connection, just explain the charts in two different paragraphs. That's it. Your introduction will explain the introductory sentences or the main ideas which is given in the question. That is, you will just paraphrase both the sentences and present it in the introductory paragraph. This particular graph or multiple graphs will contain two sentences in the introductory paragraph. Generally, the introductory paragraph will have only one sentence, but if I take multiple graphs, it may contain two sentences because it is going to describe or it is going to introduce two different types of graphs. Now, this was the explanation of all the types of graphs, charts, or diagrams. I hope the overview of academic writing task 1 must have given you a clear information. If you think that this video has helped you in understanding the different types of graphs or charts or diagrams, then please let us know about the same in the comment section below. For more free IELTS learning, please follow our channel, and for this video, do like, share and subscribe this channel for more IELTS exam updates. Thank you.